Digging around. I got my spade, I got my hoe, I got my rake, and I'm ready to go.
G'day, welcome to Spring in WA. I'm Trevor Cochrane and this is a Garden Guru special all about West Australian gardens. Now, how beautiful are these tulips? It is of course Araluen, and this program shows you how to get the very best out of your garden. Here's what's coming up on today's show.
Hi, I'm Darren and prepare to be razzle-dazzled when I show you how to select amazing water-wise plants for your garden.
G'day, I'm Chris and today I'm going to teach you the secrets of recycling right.
Hi, I'm Steve and I'm going to show you the successful way to grow sweet potatoes in your garden this summer.
Digging around.
Okay, how many of you really know what this yellow bin is for? Yeah, you've probably got an idea it's used for recycling, but the story gets a bit more interesting than that. Just because something goes in here doesn't magically mean it's going to be reused or recycled. So much of this story, horror or heroics, depends on you and what you decide to put in that bin. So let's take the journey and see what we can do to lift the success of the yellow top bin to recycle right. Firstly, this bin is a catch-all for an incredibly diverse array of stuff. And once it all comes here to mount trash, that's when its real journey of truth begins. Because here, through the complex bowels of this amazing recycling plant, it will hopefully be separated into a suite of recyclable products that can be neatly bundled and exported around the world to make new products. You can make this a journey of success and reuse if you follow a couple of points. Firstly, please don't do this. Doesn't matter how neat and well ordered your recycled items are, if they're in a tied up bag, they can't be sorted, they end up as trash. So please, no bags. Secondly, just because something is recyclable doesn't mean it will be recycled if you put it in the yellow top bin. Remember, the stuff in that bin goes to a big, crude sifting plant. It can't deal with complex and bulky items. So if you have things like old phones, electrical goods, yes, definitely they can be recycled, but they need to go to an e-waste company or collection point. Thirdly, and here's some good news, in some regions now, you don't even need to worry about the numbers on your plastic. It can all go in the yellow top bin. Just refer to the Recycle Right website to see if that applies to you. Fourthly, your yellow top bin is a hungry beast and it probably needs to go on a diet, so you can do the whole system a favour and avoid waste in the first place. You can seek out products with less packaging, grow more food, use less bags. There are many, many ways that you can slash your waste. So just check out the Recycle Right website for more ideas. It is a real good news story on how mountains of inconceivably smelly trash can somehow end up as either amazing compost or neat and valuable bales of reusable products. If you are stuck for a unique and wild experience, why not come and visit this amazing facility for a tour? I guarantee it'll blow you away and it may even change your life.
One of my favourite things is wandering around garden centres looking for inspiration and hunting out new and interesting plants. One of Perth's leading garden centres is Waldex Kingsley, and when I come up here I'm never disappointed and I always manage to find more treasure to add to the garden. The trend in edible gardens just keeps on growing, which is absolutely fantastic, and now's the perfect time to be planting. Tomatoes, capsicums, sweet corn, zucchinis, the list just keeps going on. They're going to thrive in our beautiful Perth summer warmth. I can almost taste that sweet corn on the barbie now. The range of edibles here at Waldex is enormous. It's the perfect place to start your very own kitchen garden. They have all the favourites like parsley, thyme and tomatoes, right down to the rare asparagus crowns and of course beautiful blueberries. An added bonus here is the Lakeview Cafe. With the towering gum trees, the gorgeous green life, the sound of the birds, well, it creates a beautiful country ambience. It's the ideal place for breakfast, lunch or afternoon tea. And the kids, well, they'll be more than happy over at the huge playground. The chefs in the cafe take a lot of pride in being able to select vegetables and herbs direct from the garden, which is why the food tastes so fresh and delicious. Even the majority of the cakes and scones are baked here on site. Simon, it must be great to be able to come out and pick fresh herbs and produce direct from the garden.
Yeah, no, it's great. We use it quite a lot in our sauces and using in our vegetables as well in the kitchen, and our quality soups, and also our very nice breakfast on the weekend, which we get quite a good crowd of people coming in.
Oh, I'm sure it keeps them coming back for more as well. It's a real treat.
Yeah, definitely. We do plant a lot of different stuff over the year, and yeah, we pride on our fresh herbs.
Enjoying a coffee and brekkie al fresco style really does get your day off to the perfect start. Who would think we were only 15 minutes from the hustle and bustle of the CBD? The Lakeview Cafe here at Waldex Kingsley is open 7 days a week from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m, and pets are welcome.
If you're looking for an absolute stunning feature plant for a garden, you can't go past this one here. This is Magnolia Star Wars. And look at the size of these enormous and beautifully fragrant flowers. If you want to grow it, look for a nice acidic, rich organic soil. Make sure you've got irrigation to it, and try and protect it from strong winds. You don't want these beautiful big petals to be blown off.
Gardening should be fun, and most of all it should be easy. But here in Perth and in most of WA, we are locked in a constant battle with our soils, or more correctly, our sands. They simply will not sustain the strong, healthy growth that all gardeners aspire to. But thankfully, there's a simple and permanent solution. It's called Clay Plus. The problem with sandy soils is that they basically won't hold on to either nutrients or moisture. This means the valuable and expensive fertilizers that you apply to your lawn and garden move through the sand very quickly and are not available to the plants. They can also end up polluting the underground aquifers and contribute to algal blooms in our rivers and waterways. The owners of this suburban Bayswater home had battled these issues for years, spending a king's ransom on wetting agents and fertilizers in the process. After being recommended Clay Plus, they tried again. It's 4 years down the track and their lawn has never looked back. After improving the sand with Clay Plus, Liz and Des found their new lawn produced strong, lush and healthy growth without the need to apply excessive water and with far less fertiliser. They also found that they didn't need to use wetting agents, as the improved loamy soil now absorbs and holds onto the water that is applied. The lawn has been able to stand up to ferocious Perth summers without browning off or going patchy. The balanced mineral content found in Clay Plus drives healthy, sustainable growth. This growth is far more resilient to pest and disease attack and will bounce back rapidly if subjected to wear and tear. The loamy soil structure created by the Clay Plus holds the nutrients in the root zone for the turf, making them more readily available and more easily absorbed as the turf needs them. And remember, when you cut the lawn, allow the clippings to return into the grass. That way you'll cut your fertiliser use even more. For any homeowner wishing to have a strong, healthy, sustainable lawn and garden without the struggle and hassle, it's the obvious choice.
Growing sweet potatoes in the garden at our place over summer is an absolute must. There's a bit of an art to it. It's nothing like growing traditional potatoes, but I'd love to show you how it's done. The botanical name for sweet potato is Ipomoea. They're closely related to that dreaded weed, the morning glory, which is also an Ipomoea. Now that may sound a little ominous, but in fact it's really good news because it makes these guys super hardy and very easy to grow. When we grow traditional potatoes, we actually plant a small potato. But when we grow sweet potatoes, we need to plant a cutting. Now, normal potatoes will grow right throughout the cooler months, but sweet potatoes, well, they love the heat. Taking cuttings is easy. Anyone can do it. Take 10 centimetre cuttings and strip half the foliage. Place the cutting into a quality free draining potting mix and liquid feed fortnightly. They'll start to form roots in 7 to 10 days. The root system that develops on our cuttings is what turns into sweet potatoes. This one is around 4 weeks old and we can already see them starting to develop. Each cutting will yield around 2 to 3 kilos of sweet potatoes. They'll be ready to harvest in autumn as the foliage starts to die down. And there's no rush to harvest them. Nothing will keep them fresher and full of nutrition than taking them from the ground as you need them. Sweet potatoes are high in vitamin A and C and full of essential minerals. They make a wonderful ground cover that acts as a living mulch, protecting the soil from the hot sun. If you've never grown these nutritious beauties from nature, you really should give them a try this summer.
One of the great things of wandering through a beautiful botanical garden like this one here at Araluen is you get to see plants growing in their natural environment. And it highlights what you've got to do at home if you want to be successful. If you want to grow tree ferns at home, you need to have pretty much flowing water, at least really, really moist soil all year round. Otherwise, they just won't perform. It's really important to pick the right plant for the right place if you want to have a beautiful garden here in Perth.
You know, when I grew up, everyone had one of these. A great big sprawling piece of greenery out the front, the ubiquitous verge lawn. Now look, I got nothing against lawn. In the right place, it is simply one of the greatest, toughest sport and recreation surfaces. But I got to ask you, when was the last time you ever saw anyone out the front, kicking the footy, rolling out the picnic rug on that verge lawn? When you throw into the mix that the typical verge lawn can use anywhere from 40 to 60,000 litres of water to sustain it over summer, and when you multiply that by just how much verge lawn there is in WA, you can see that this represents a huge amount of water that we are now scrambling to find. Now, I'm not for a moment suggesting we just turn off the taps and let it all descend into a dry, weedy mess. Of course not. In Perth, we've got an amazing opportunity to put in a truly awesome alternative. One that's going to slash our water use, save us a fortune on fertiliser and mowing, and can lift the value of the property. I'm talking about a state-of-the-art, water-wise verge. The trick with a verge lawn conversion is to keep it simple and to keep it low. For my new verge, you can see that I've chosen plants that will grow no higher than 50 to 70 centimetres. Now that protects what we call the line of sight, so that means cars can see me and I can see them. And interestingly, I didn't grub out the old lawn, I just killed it in situ, I let it rot down, and that created the perfect no-fuss bed for my new plants. Out the front, I've gone for some seriously tough water-wise plants. I've got the Cowberry carpet, the Grevillea Gingin Gem, beautiful plant. For contrast, we've got the Alaria Little Smoky, and I've even got this Hemiandra pungens, which has gorgeous lilac flowers for 9 months of the year. Now, if I can top that off with a good rough water-wise mulch, I'm seriously in business. Now, it's not just a few intrepid gardeners that are getting in on the party. These days, our leading developers are putting in some truly stunning water-wise verge alternatives that are filled with colour and diversity, and they're all helping to rein in our galloping water use. Check with your local council for their verge conversion guidelines and any restrictions. But if you follow their simple principles, you can soon have a truly extraordinary verge, which will be a stamp of sustainability in your suburb and the newest in a growing trend of amazing 21st century water-wise verge gardens.
The secret to a good soil lies in its organic content. The richer the soil, the more moisture and nutrition it will hold. Our Perth coastal soils are sandy and they need all the help they can get. It's nice to know there's products out there that we can rely on to turn our poor soils into rich, productive ground. Add the Bailey Soil Improver at a rate of 1 bag per square metre and turn it into the soil. Bailey Soil Improver contains organic material that has been fully matured and composted to Australian standards, which means there's no risk of it robbing precious nitrogen from the soil. It also contains GrowSorb, a professional grade wetting agent that ensures good water penetration and re-wettability. Now comes the fun part, planting. The best plants for this time of year are celery, lettuce, spring onion and silver beet. Because we've improved the soil, these little babies are going to get the best start. But there's also another way to guarantee this. Once we've built the soil structure and put our plants in the ground, it's time to add nutrition. I'm a great believer in feeding the life in the soil. The microorganisms have got the incredible ability to multiply thousands of times in a very short period, as long as we feed them with the right product. Energy Garden combines organic blood and bone with essential plant nutrients, trace elements, zeolites and humates. Zeolite is a natural mineral that plays a vital role in nutrient retention. Humates greatly improve soil fertility and stimulate microbial growth. All these ingredients combined will ensure we have everything we need for a strong, healthy plant growth, while at the same time building a rich, fertile soil. Apply every 3 to 4 weeks around your veggies and scratch into the topsoil. It's so important when growing vegetables that in the beginning we go to that extra bit of effort and set our soil structure up right. To follow it up with good nutrition after that will mean our plants will give us the most delicious, tasty produce. A product like this is made in WA for WA conditions, and it's a name we can trust.
If you love a beautiful perfumed garden, this might be one plant you want to try and get your hands on. Now, it is rare and collectible, I've got to tell you, but it's well worthwhile trying to track down. It's called the tree gardenia, Rothmania globosa, and each of these little flowers is heavenly fragrant. In fact, you put just one in your house, the whole house will be filled with this beautiful gardenia perfume.
Trees and shrubs are an important component of our suburban environment. And I think we can all agree that having gardens and parks full of healthy, vibrant plants massively improves the quality of our living space. But the right plant needs to be selected for the right spot to avoid long-term and possibly costly issues. But plants need to be selected carefully to ensure that the right plant goes into the right spot and to avoid long-term and possibly costly issues. Not all plants, especially trees, are safe to plant in suburban gardens. Some have vigorous and adventurous root systems that will go hunting for any source of moisture available, and this can be bad news for reticulation, drainage or sewer pipes. Modern plastic pipes are strong and completely sealed, but this doesn't mean they can't be damaged. A small hairline fracture is all the encouragement some trees need to send their roots into the pipes looking for moisture, and this can result in an expensive and messy repair job. Avoiding the drama and cost of having to repair whole sections of pipework can easily be avoided by using a local resource such as the Water Corporation website to help with selecting the trees and shrubs for your garden. Another important criteria to consider when choosing plants is water use. It pays to select water-wise plants. Hardy natives are the obvious choice. Once established, they will thrive on minimal water, and most are low fertiliser users as well. Using less water and fertiliser is not only good for the environment, but it will also save the gardener money too. Remember to look out for the water-wise icon. Beautiful native water-wise plants not only look great, but they're also an important source of nectar and habitat for native flora. By carefully selecting and planting these types of trees and shrubs, you'll be doing your bit to ensure your suburb remains alive with native birds, insects and reptiles, which has to be a good thing. Selecting the right trees and shrubs for your garden may feel onerous to begin with, but by making use of available resources, it can be quite simple. The Water Corporation website has an extensive and informative plant selection tool, which is free and easy to use, while WaterWise accredited landscapers and garden centres employ knowledgeable, experienced and well-trained staff who are always happy to help. Planting the right trees and shrubs the first time will save you time and money.
Well, how beautiful is this? You know, it's another great example of the gorgeous plants you can grow right here in WA. You know, we've got so many beautiful plants that work really well in our gardens. You just need to know what to do, and that's why we're here. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week for another great episode of Spring in WA with the Garden Gurus.